Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. In front of us here are three packages with an assortment of devices inside. So I believe we've got an iPhone 4 running iOS 4, we've got an iPod Touch 5th gen running iOS 6, and then we have two iPhone 6s models. One of them I believe is running iOS 9. So a pretty cool spread of devices. Some of these I don't know if they're fully functional, but according to the eBay listings, they do have the respective versions of iOS that we are interested in here. So let's get these opened up, see what kind of condition these devices are in, and hopefully we've got some cool stuff to talk about. Let's begin. All right, here we go. We've got our devices and I'm a little confused. I thought this was only a lot of two iPhone 6s's, but as you can see here, we've got three of them. So maybe my memory is just serving me incorrectly, but I believe it was only supposed to be two. Either way, I'm not complaining, but hopefully we didn't get switched models because one of them was supposed to be running iOS 9. We'll see about that here in just a moment. Here's our iPhone 4. This one is supposed to be running iOS 4. And I believe the seller said the camera flash did not work. So we're gonna have to get that tested out. Let's see if this has any power, and it does. We've got the old Apple logo, that's a good start. Here is our 5th gen iPod Touch. It is the black and slate color. Very, very dirty device. Now, I was told that this is running iOS 6, but that the battery does not work at all. It has to be plugged into function. So let's see what happens if we hold the power button. Okay, this is great. Not only do we have the old iOS 6 charge logo, but it actually shows something. So that means the battery is at least holding some sort of charge. All right, that's a really good sign. Okay, next up, we've got these 6S's. These are all space gray. And let's see if these have any power. This one's dead, and I'm gonna guess that this one is also dead. And it is. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get these cleaned up, specifically this 5th gen Touch. This thing's really dirty. And we're gonna plug them in. The iPhone 4 does have a decent charge there, so that thing should be fine, but we're gonna get these newer devices plugged into power and cleaned up. All right, it's been a couple hours. The devices should basically be charged. I cleaned them up, and if I'm being honest, they cleaned up pretty nicely. Here's our iPhone 4. This one is in very nice condition. It's the white color. The screen is basically flawless, and the sides and the back are in very nice condition as well. The only damage I'm seeing is up here in this top corner. You can see kind of, let's see if it'll show up. Right there, there is a scuff mark, but overall, pretty clean device. Now, turning it on, and we can go ahead and slide to unlock. You can see this is definitely iOS 4, and we'll head into settings, general, and about. And you can see that this is running 4.3.1. So one of the later versions of iOS 4, but that is not uncommon here for the white model because this was not available at launch. In 2010, when the iPhone 4 came out, at least in the fall, only the black model was available. White was not even an option. I don't remember exactly when it was, but the white model came out in early 2011 when the phone also launched with the CDMA wireless carriers. So that was the first time that this phone was officially supported on any carrier outside of AT&T, or if you had unlocked the device, T-Mobile or other GSM carriers. And once the iPhone 4 supported those, the white model came with it. Of course, you could get the white model for GSM as well, but at least at launch, you could only get the black model for only GSM carriers. So there we've got a white iPhone 4, iOS 4.3.1. Up next, we've got our iPod Touch. This is a 5th gen. This launched in 2012 and replaced the very popular 4th gen iPod Touch. The 5th gen changed a lot of things. We've got a massively upgraded camera, little loop down here, new form factor, very thin device. And we've got a lightning connector. That was the first time we'd seen that on an iPod Touch. And of course, this model, as you can see, is running iOS 6. Now, the seller said the battery is really bad. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can get through this setup here. And once we get to the home screen, we should be able to find out which version of iOS we have. Hopefully this will activate. Sometimes it takes a while. I think the iPod has to get itself figured out in terms of the date and time. As you can see, it's switched right there. And then the iPod is able to activate. Luckily, no Apple ID here. It is possible to get an iCloud lock on an iOS 6 device if it's been upgraded and then downgraded, or if it's been put into lost mode. But this does not appear to have any of those problems, and it's already showing low battery. Gonna have to plug that in so it does not die. All right, definitely iOS 6. As you can see here, we'll head into settings, general, and about, and we are running 6.1, and this is a 64 gig model. That is pretty cool. That's the most capacity you could get on a 5th gen iPod Touch. 6.1 is kind of interesting. Usually you see really early versions of 6 or really late versions of 6. Not a whole lot of anything in between. The iPod Touch 5th gen brought a lot of new changes to the iPod Touch, one of which was Siri. So in fact, we're gonna go ahead and test out Siri and see if it's working. What's the weather in New York City right now?
Searching the web for what's the weather in New York City right now.
Okay, so it actually does look like Siri's working and Safari's working as well. It's able to load the weather for New York City. So we were talking about what's new with the 5th gen Touch. Of course, it's got a new form factor. It's got Siri. It's got a dual core A5 chip. That was a big upgrade over the single core A4 found in the 4th gen Touch. It's got a little loop button down here. This one I think is stuck closed. Sometimes these gets all sorts of sticky residue and whatever and they stop working, but you could loop a little lanyard around that. At launch, the 5th gen Touch came with 32 or 64 gigabytes. A 16 gigabyte variant was added later on, and the iPod was available in a bunch of colors. This is the space gray that I think, or actually I don't know if it's called space gray. I think it might just be black or maybe slate black. I forget the official name, but it's a very dark color in contrast to the silver stainless steel iPod Touches that came before it. We also got a flash up here on the back, and I believe that's all the changes in the 4-inch Retina display. That was an improvement over the 3.5-inch seen in the previous iPod Touch models. All right, we'll go ahead and put this down up here and continue to let it charge. Hopefully that battery is not completely shot. I did let it sit for a few minutes, but we will see what happens over time. Okay, moving on, we've got 3 iPhone 6s models, and a couple of them are pretty boring. This one's already set up, so we can talk about that. And let's see what we've got. This looks like maybe iOS 12. Let's head into settings, general, and about. We're getting really good at doing this. Whoops, not update. Okay, so iOS 11, that is an interesting version of iOS. The reason for that is because no device finished support on iOS 11. So for example, iOS 9 had a lot of devices end their support, iPad 2nd gen, iPad mini, iPhone 4S. iOS 12 saw a bunch of devices with the iPhone 6, the iPhone 5S, and some iPad models, but iOS 11 was not the final resting place for any devices. So that means it's actually fairly glitchy and not really usable here in 2025. I don't think the App Store works, and I don't think the iTunes Store works either. Contrast that with iOS 7, 8, 9, and iOS 10, all older versions, but those are working because devices did end their support there on those versions. iOS 11 is pretty unique in that way. Okay, so we've got one iPhone 6s, that's a 16 gig on iOS 11. We've got another one here that we're gonna have to set up. Hopefully there's no Apple ID. Let me go ahead and get this thing activated. All right, moment of truth, and it looks like it did activate. Let's see, Touch ID is working. I'll go ahead and get this set up and then we'll fast forward to the home screen. I'm really not familiar with the newer versions of iOS in terms of how they look here for the setup. So I can't say for certain what this is, but I feel like this could also be iOS 11, maybe iOS 12. I think it's actually got the same wallpaper. So this might also have iOS 11 on it. Let's see here once we go into settings. So this is also iOS 11. That is very interesting. It's also a 16 gig model. This is a Sprint CDMA model. Sprint does not actually exist anymore. I think Verizon bought them. So kind of weird here to get 2 iPhone 6s's on iOS 11. It seems like maybe someone or like a couple owned these, maybe husband and wife, and then they traded them in and then never updated them. Maybe they got them at the same time and then also upgraded their phones at the same time. Whatever, that's kind of interesting. Here's the star of the show today. This, of course, is an iPhone 6s, and as you can see, it says slide to setup. Now, I am a little bit concerned. Obviously, the iPhone 6s on iOS 9 has its fair share of activation issues, but if you can see up here, we do have the rotation lock activated. Now, that leads me to believe that this iPhone was set up and running, and that it either locked itself out because of an activation issue, or perhaps the iCloud account kind of reset itself and it's going to ask us for a password. So I'd say there's a really good chance that this phone does not activate either because of an Apple ID account or because of the iPhone 6s activation problem. But we're going to give it a try and see what happens here. All right, moment of truth. And it is not activating, but I think we might be able to try again. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we do have an Apple ID account, and that is pretty much a dead end for this device. I'm not familiar with any ways to get through that, and I really don't think any exist. I've mentioned before, and I think if I were in charge of Apple, I would pretty much remove activation lock on devices that are like 10 or 15 years old, because at that point, most people aren't going to go out and steal an iPhone 4, for example, but people like us who collect them, it is an opportunity to keep those devices working and out of landfills. So yeah, activation lock's an interesting thing. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side you look at it, it's very hard to get around. And I think for modern smartphones, that is certainly a benefit because you don't want people to be able to steal phones and then unlock them. But old devices like these, you got to wonder if there isn't a better way to go about getting these devices working. But unfortunately, I think that's the end of the road here for these devices. We did get some pretty cool ones. We've got the iPhone 4 here. This one's running iOS 4. iPod Touch 5th gen. These are really hard to find on iOS 6. I don't really know why that is, but I have not been able to find very many of those. I think this is the first one in a couple years that I've been able to find. And then, of course, the very not so interesting models here. We've got two 6Ss running iOS 11. Kind of random to get these, but still a cool device. The 6S was a very popular phone, and I'm sure there's actually a decent number of you guys that are still using an iPhone 6S or a 6S Plus. They were great devices, and they held up really, really well. So that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below. Are any of you guys still using an iPhone 6S, and how's it holding up? All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.